back to the North American minor close qualifier. Here it is, of course, EnVy versus Identity. Certainly set to be quite the best of three, much like all of the best of threes in our lower bracket 8-team shootout have been so far. Team 1, of course, the team to beat right now, as they just took a 2-0 victory in the best of three prior to this one. All eyes, of course, now on EnVy and Identity to see who will be facing off up against Team 1 as we move forward. But kicking things off, it will be Overpass. Really quite the interesting map pool, to be honest, for this series. Overpass, of course, is going to be map number 1. And from there, we head on over to Inferno and Mirage. There we go. Get it up in front of me. That would help. Either way, hope you're all doing nice and well this evening as we look to really crown our lower bracket champion. A lot to be done, though. Long road ahead. Certainly did imagine to see a good performance from EnVy, and so far so good. Nifty Some, Sonic all chiming in. Of course, Sonic, South African player, a lot of talent in him. Great opportunity on EnVy to really show it on the North American stage. Very easy one for EnVy there, very comfortable. Unfortunately, not a single kill for Identity in that round. Of course, talking about who is going to be, or who we think is going to be taking the match. Well, no better way to find out than also reflecting on the odds, of course. Let's bring those up for you folks at home. Obviously brought to you by GG Bet. You can see it's a very, very even right now. 1.85 to 1.88. That is on the total maps. Of course, if you don't want to get involved in all the betting action, you can head on over to GG Bet. With that said, EnVy, be a little careful here. Up against just a blob of pistols, all heading up towards A-Long. Fugly spotting them up quite early on, to be honest. Nades should be thrown as well, and with the MP9, he wants to get aggressive here, make the money. No reason not to push him up, and it works out so well for him. All 4 kills. Dazzle just on the other side of the smoke, and it looks like Fugly's just going to pop a flash and run on through. Well, eventually be taken down by his teammate. Kind of unfortunate, but at the end of the day, some serious money made that puts them up to 56.50. Hell, they could go for a second round, or third round AWP if they wanted to. Would be a little bit mad, but would be a crazy option on the table. Thankfully, they don't quite go that wild. Instead, he's going to full buy into utility, etc. Still puts EnVy in quite a comfortable spot. Also, most importantly, gets a second kit in play. Bear in mind, Andrew is the only other CT with a kit in their back pocket. Of course, the more notable team here is Identity, though, back on the full buy. No more pistols in play, and a great start. Android banged through the wood there on short, already down to 29 HP. All on the basis of a solid read there that someone's going to get aggressive on short, just going for an age-old spam. That's rough. Double push towards long, just completely annihilated Relics. They had to hold it down. No one getting close. Now we'll slow down somewhat a little here. No need for this T side to make any rushing into it. Android looking almost a little lost there. Just here's the flash thrown, expecting it to be short, but seemingly no idea that connector was wide open. That's then going to find Sam, and this is looking like a bit of a different picture here, to be honest. You're looking a little more lost. There's all Nifty just remaining. Not really much he can do, just wants to bring that all forward into round 4, ideally. Maybe an exit or 2 for his troubles. Could be on the cards, but gotta bear in mind, Relics and Co are so close. Now that he's tapped a few shots off as well, they know exactly where he's going to be. Upside is that he has decided to opt to run right up through playground and such. That will put a bit of distance between him and his opposition. I don't think they're really being, super proactive about chasing him down. So he'll get away, live to fight another day. It is going to be a crucial gun for the CT side as well, given that they kind of have a bit of an iffy economy now due to winning the 2 and then losing that 1. Got a few players on 3,300. Android, meanwhile, could effectively buy quite comfortably. Just shy of 5k in the bank. And so all in all, EnVy, a decision to make, I think. Not too surprised at sort of a bit of pistol kev. Don't want to buy too much into it, I think. Just normalise your economy. See what you can do with Android and Nifty both being on a bit of firepower. I think, you know, the CZ is not something to be screaming about, but it's also not something to forget either. Oh, I'm going to go for the creative boost, see if they can maybe catch there, but unfortunately not going to happen. Already pretty much just sprinted away. Nothing to be seen there at all. Instead, the real story is going to come in towards A mid as Relics makes his advances. But Ras and Jonji and Toilets as well. They're going to take the immediate duel against Android. That will clear him off. Likely to see Sonic peek, and, well, that's just an easy kill. Yeah, pretty much crumbles. This double short stack from Connector is easily dealt with. Som just towards long. Looks like Jonji knows exactly where he is. It all looks fairly comfortable. Terrace back onto 2. The score now completely even. Well, EnVy will be on a full buy here, so the tables are all set. Suesh, the map picks are, as Chad has said, Overpass, Inferno, and Mirage. Nice early molly, but no one gonna push off of it. A great nade just to stop them from making their advances. They will look and expect a bit of aggression. Sonic so close to finding a kill, in fact, but unfortunately 27 HP is what stands behind him and first blood. Foggy, meanwhile, was put down to 28 HP, so at least a bit of an equal exchange. EnVy seemingly still thinking something's happening towards long, but little do they know. East T-side just clustering up towards B. Now they need some presence towards short, which I'm hoping will come through from their play here as they just clear out. Serrera is looking through tunnels. Except with a good flash over, that will help the likes of Dazzle get out. A little ballsy from on his own, but it'll work out anyway. Penta smoke will come through, but with another high flash, it should be a bit of an all-out battle, to be honest. Ras doing pretty good for himself. We do see a couple of nice kills for EnVy, but all in all, Ramp has been taken control of. This should really be a plant. Depends on how they want to beat this. If they decide to get aggressive, then they're pretty much just going to give it up. Seb still just taking every fight at this point, finally ducks into sandbags, but he's in a 1-on-3, he's being pushed on as well. No chance in hell he gets out of that one alive. To be fair, it's a really tough round for them. You know, when they got ramp control, they were in a 2-on-3. EnVy did do a pretty much impeccable job, to be honest, of trading as the push came in through Monster. Problem was, when you're in that 2-on-3, they didn't prioritize the plant. Instead, they wanted to find a pick to equalize the numbers, and that's where they fell short, just losing every player as the peaks came through. It's the more aggressive of the two approaches, and this time around it backfires. Well, that's all good. Nazzle just knifed in the back. In what was a fairly important round for them, to be honest. Benfrex, you are spot on. This is the lower bracket shootout, as I like to call it. 8 teams remain in a lower bracket of the minor. Only 2 spots left for the Americas minor. You can connect the dots. 8-2. An all-out battle to see who will make it there. Dazzle may well have been stabbed in the back by his teammate, but still not going to go down without a fight. Takes Android from short. More Sonic immediately trades. Just outside of bathrooms. That puts us on an even kill once more, 4-on-4. Bomb will be retrieved, and Identity will start to position themselves towards... I'd say an A play, but really the map still is very much up for grabs. They could head down through connector towards B if they want it. Now, I'm fairly confident they are going to start applying pressure through short, and in turn I'd be pretty shocked if we didn't see them sort of attacking through A short. Close to actually finding some, in fairness. That would have been quite a sick flick, but not quite Shroud today. That said, 15 seconds remain. All or nothing. The B site is the target. Nifty having none of it. Sprays them down. Some joins in for the fun. Finds 2 of his own. 7 seconds remain. And EnVy have mopped it all up. 4-2. Looking very clean. Little to nothing the T-side could do there as they just made their push and were immediately crushed. So actually, it might just be Twitch. I'd recommend changing your quality settings maybe. Just drop it from like high to medium or something. Good old 720p goodness. Should be fine though. This could just be your connection, unfortunately. Slightly different approach from our T-side this time around. Instead of going for any sort of default, they're all completely bunched up towards B, but just as I say that, we are going to start to see a little movement come in from Dazzle. Nice flashes, smoke comes out, center site as well. Som is going to jump immediately up and no one's taking him down. The man lets rip, but Dazzle and Jonji finally step into the firefight. That will save the day, but then Android slips him from below and snipes out like an absolute kraken. Double kill for him, and he's still there, just sat at the bottom side of sight. Sonic will then flick on towards Seb, and that leaves the bomb down. Oh, and it's lonesome. And Dazzle just swings out. Nothing he can do there, really, just seemingly unaware of the aggressiveness of Sonic. He's looking right at him.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Immediate pause call, and I think now's a good time for it. You're 5-2. The last few buy rounds haven't gone your way. You just start thinking about what you're going to do here, because this is highly likely, even if they half buy. I put pretty, a lot of money, suffice to say, on this being 6-2. They lose the next buy and it continues in the way it has done. This very quickly can blow out of control. Of course, half buy was the target here. They've gone for CZs, Deagles, even a Tech 9 and Relics. Bit of a throwback there. See Sonic, nearly lining them up. Didn't quite get the collateral in the end, but Fugly should be able to plug any holes here. Very sure. Well, eventually going to be caught off by Rat, in fact, but I think Nifty will be fine. It's just Rats now that remains, and looks like a prediction of that 6-2 certainly going to take hold. Let's see how much of a fight can he put up here. I mean, only got a CZ, unfortunately. Looks like he's not close enough to really achieve gun either, so poor guy's stuck in a bit of a rock and a hard place all in all. such a critical round at this point for No Identity. They really need to show us something on their T side here. Early com control going to be the target. Nifty's had an absolute mare of a nade. Seemingly knows the position of Jonju though, which works out kind of well for him. Gets a little bit of early damage. Only a tag or so. 86 HP at the end of the day is where he stands, but... Nice nade. That's going to do some serious... How does that only do 30 damage? Oh, that should do a lot more damage. Either way, I think it's just due to the height difference than a nade, I suppose, but... Anyhow... EnVy now looking like they're going to have to hold off against a potential B play. I mean, the bomb's still sort of trapped right now in a kind of a weird spot. Donji will force the duel. Lines up one. Very close to getting a second as well, but Nifty just going to spray him through the wall. You got to bear in mind, the bomb's here. That's been spotted by EnVy. Which kind of caused EnVy a problem, because their whole thing was an A fake, I believe. Given that they had two players boosted up on railing, waiting for a short push, while everyone else was stacked towards A. Well, that fake's been completely cut away now, and they're left going for this all-in towards B, which is completely audible by Android. Now he's got the bomb. He knows what's coming. Let's see the swing come through. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Android's got a double kill, and it's all on Dazzle. 1 on 3, 7 seconds remaining. This round is done. Identity just... a rather foolish attempt all in all, really just crumbles to pieces in the final stages. EnVy 7-2. What can you do? Back on the pistols now as well. It's the half buy, of course. 8-2 potentially on the table here. They are struggling on their T side. Just need to get something going. Looks like the B play once again going to be the target. Heavily investing in towards short. Molly down, running through the fire and the flames. It's Game of Thrones all over again, but this time they are working out wonderfully. A triple kill picked up by the CZ. Seb finding Fugly as well. The half buy is all they need to finally crack the B site as Sonic becomes the last man standing. Gonna have to try and save this. At least gets an exit kill, I suppose, but... That's quite a shocking round for EnVy to be able to lose, unfortunately. Smart from No Identity, you know, credit where credit is due. They get aggressive on short, use the numbers to their advantage, and all three players got an entry, which is exactly, you know, dream scenario. It's exactly what they want. Much slower style of play now. And what I'm curious to see is, will No Identity get caught out the minute they have to slow things down again? 40 seconds. Pressure beginning to kick in now for an entity if they want to make a play towards A. And they're in good spots to do it. Close to getting a pick as well. I mean, nifty 5 HP. It's a throwback to see him on the AWP right now, and unfortunately the shots just were made hard for him. So low. Buckley falling as well. It is all on Nifty. Let's see what he can do. Push comes through. There's the first. Can he find the second? Answer is immediately no. Just shut down without hesitation. 10 seconds remain. The plant is what's critical. Rafts will find some. And plant will come through. And that leaves Android in a 1-on-3. Now he knows where 1 is, just based on sound alone. Picks up the kill, so that makes it a bit more of a workable scenario here. The molly towards bank again. It's another 1v1 potentially. Oh, caught with a smoke in hand though. That's not quite what he was hoping for. Interesting approach now from EnVy. Back on the pistols, finally cracked by this T side. They decided to completely stack in connector here. No aggression, none of that jazz, just grouping up. Good old-fashioned numbers to their advantage. The only player outside of the floor is Nifty, and well, he meets the unfortunate end of an AK-47. Looks pretty comfortable so far. Campbell spots them as well. That will clean things up. Momentum now somewhat shifting in favour of this T side, but let's see if they can keep it going. Their first sort of real major test here as we head into round 13 will be another buy from EnVy. If they can get this done, we might be looking at a bit more of a competitive scoreline for them, but obviously 5 rounds on their T side isn't something to be, you know, complaining about, but it's also not something to be writing home about either, so need to see if they can bag just a few more, maybe get themselves up to 6 or 7 ideally. John G close to getting a first pick, nearly gets a little hairy, but eventually pulls out on top. Android trading though just moments before in a dogfight that left him on 13 HP. Quick pick towards A mid pretty much opens up the entire A site now. The only saving grace could be Fugly if he comes in from behind, but outside of that, no presence from the CTs on A at all. Still no flanking from behind either. This round could be done before it even got going. Android and Som, I think, because they're so low, are playing a little bit more of a hesitant style of CS. Luckily didn't want to make the play, instead very passive, and that's led to the instant save call. At least they get away though completely intact. Identity up the 6 here, so we're already making pretty good headway to a much more competitive half. And if they can crack 7 and actually win the whole thing, I think they're going to be laughing, to be honest. Enjoying the discussion in chat, by the way. I haven't really talked about it too much, but I've been keeping a close eye on it. A lot of back and forth from various different folks over sort of current lineups and what people think should be happening to those teams. Interesting, opinions as well, has to be said. A couple of folks looking at names like JDM. See some consistency accusations thrown around, which is always an interesting one. Now, you think 40 seconds of the rounds took place, but in all honesty, not a huge amount has actually happened. Identity have just played very, very far back. Currently just now beginning their advancements here. Throwing the smoke into his toilet will force Fugly to have to relocate. Likewise, you've got Nifty towards long, showing a little bit of face here and there. Heat comes through. It's textbook CS. Wrath's just immediately picking up the kill. Nifty on long playing so close and no support. That could be another easy one as well. Now, Sonic, you're close to finding Jonji, but that's not going to be enough. With Dazzle bottom call, you can't get away alive either. No Identity in the perfect spots right now. This is looking really good from them. We do see a trade come through, and Nifty does have the flank, so let's see what he can do with that. So far, so good. Relic seemingly unaware of the push coming through, but Seb, not so much. He will look back and make sure it gets dealt with. What they won't expect is Android doing the exact same thing, but if some can do some damage on the site, that will make life a little easier. But this is what it boils down to. Android versus Seb. Going straight towards Dumpster, spotted by Android, immediately going to prompt the Molotov to be thrown. I wonder if he just dives on the defuse, goes for the balls to the wall play. Was trying to bait him out, going to get close to bank, wait for the peek, let's rip with the rifle. Seb does not have to face him now. Oh, can hear him running, baits the steps. He's just making Android spend all this time. Android, you just don't have it in the bank anymore. You are running out of time. You got to get on that defuse. Baiting it out once more. Check for Seb and finally catches him. It comes down to the wire. Only just going to squeeze in the defuse. Half attempt at best. That's what it comes down to. Incredibly close. Nifty now contemplating a bit more aggression. Goes solo, so vulnerability, I think, for the CTs here, but does get away with it at least for now, as No Identity go for a contact play out through B. Doesn't really work out for them, as Seb unfortunately leaves his back exposed to short. Lack of control really just biting them, but with the B site clear, in fairness, they smoke short, they get a plant. You're also laughing, right? Yes, you've lost a player on short, but you're trading away, you're getting the picks. I mean, Relics has just found Android, and we're a 4-on-2, so all in all, I think No Identity are pretty chuffed at how this is unfolding. There's Fugly and Sonic remaining. The retake is well and truly on, but do they know Wraith is actually on the site? That's the question. Jonji spotted Sonic with another great shot, but they just don't know that Wraith is right there, ready and waiting. There you have it. 8-7. Couple of good stints in here for this T side. All in all, I think fairly good half of both teams, to be honest. Couldn't really put a pin between either team. SE, the picks are as follows. Make sure I get this. There we go. So, yeah, No Identity picked Overpass, EnVy picked Inferno, and obviously our third and final map is Mirage. Based off Identity's ban of Nuke, Identity's ban of Train, and EnVy, of course, banning Vertigo, and banning Dust too. Now, the pistol here, set to be a little bit of a spicy one as Dazzle walks face first into a barrage of blocks. Immediately, EnVy then rattle up top a connector, and kind of almost reset, given that they've just been given a free kill. What will be interesting will be now if the B site is completely open. I mean, Relic is getting already tagged out. They just come chasing down to the site itself. He'll get himself one, looks for a quick flick to the head of Fugly, but that's not going to land. Sonic is a play he will be able to find, though. And then he runs out of ammo. Somehow he's still standing. Som, you've had an absolute mare. How is he still alive? He's bought so much time for Race to be able to sneak in from behind and finish it all off. That is a disaster. Som just face first. Couldn't land a single shot on a man staring at the floor, reloading his gun. Oh, not what you want to see. So unfortunate. That's really unlucky for him, man. That's going to haunt him for a while. Huge round, though, for the CTs. She ties up the scoreline, gives them a pretty good start onto their CT side here on Overpass. Dazzle making some bank as well as he finds his own little double. It's all pretty much working out. Dazzle's just made some bank. Quad kill with the MP9 there. Puts him up to 5,700 moving in around 18. First real major test, though, of the second half will be here. Obviously, 5 AKs in play for EnVy. The ID know full well if they can make this stick, then, well, they have room to give themselves on their CT side. If not, well, a little bit worried about them, to be honest. It's tough to really know what ID are going to be able to show on Overpass, but I would give the upper hand to EnVy in the majority of scenarios. That's why I'm kind of hoping that they can get going early on here and don't really need to get themselves in a scenario where they're having to claw their way back. Well, you know, a couple of round deficit. That said, it's the era of the MP9, Relic's Dazzle. Both playing together in Connector and it works out wonderfully. Som Fugly both immediately drop dead and little to no response from the T side just yet. Question is, what's Nifty still doing in Con? What's the game plan here? I mean, the first attempt at the team's con take has failed, unfortunately, rather miserably. Sonic, the fact you're alive right now is absolutely a miracle. Seb coming in from the backstab, but Sonic will flip back, and then with Nifty finding at least one before he falls in Connector is actually fairly huge. It creates this 2-on-2. Moving back to Sonic, though, it's huge right now, the work that he's been able to do. The only downside is he's kind of mollied himself off from supporting his teammate if needed. He do have them boxed in. Con trying to retake that bomb. There you have it. Both players getting a pick. Sonic up to 3, I believe, in the end. That evens out once more. 9 for 9. The only issue here is that money on that CT side is a little bit rough. You see the immediate orb get purchased. That'll be thrown over to Relics. Rest of it is going to be SMGs, double Famous, Strongy and Wraths. At least you get the Organ Dazzle, I suppose, but not too pretty of a sight for Eddie. EnVy still very much in this game, anyway. Still lots on the table. Had a couple of good rounds here and there. That's tied us up 9 for 9. Already short control put into favour here by Som. He's boosted up and Looking to see if he can maybe catch relics. What's interesting is Nifty checking long there. Does he get any information? Not really. And ID didn't really change anything either. There's still 4 players stacked on towards B. So for EnVy right now, not looking too ideal. Relic's getting the immediate trade as the push comes through. Flashes galore. It's all or nothing on the B take, and Relics is just shutting them down. Shot off the shot with the AWP. This man is on fire. Not missing a single thing right now. Someone shut him down. Relics just hitting every shot. Quad kill for him in the end. Sealing the B site. Bagging a 10th round for our CT side. It's a solid question right now. Who is the best player on this identity lineup? Obviously, some pretty stellar results recently. A lot of people are thinking, really, who is the highlight star? And Relics is a name that I think consistently comes up, but is also one that people are quite often quick to shut down, especially in the public eye. The man's got talent. Undeniable. Just pistols in play here, though. And all that rush towards B doesn't really work out, so it will be a 2-round gap now created for the CT side. Let's see, once again, if they can keep this going. I said that last time, famous last words, EnVy equalised almost immediately. But maybe round 21 will be different. Have to see. See the weaponry there, to be fair. Lacking the AWP, but they've got the 5 AKs. The only thing that's a bit iffy for EnVy is I'd like to see a little bit more sort of complexity in their sight take there. I mean, you got Nifty checking long, which I'm not really sure what the value of that was. Didn't really work out, you know. ID were just basically waiting for them to push B. They had all the info they needed, 4 players stacked up, and it all just worked out for them. If they were trying to see if they could sell a bit of long presence, they could have done that a lot better. That's for sure. This round not really working out to too great of a start either. Dazzle with a lovely opener with the AWP there, and then Seb securing a kill of his own. Leaves us here. 5 on 3. Maybe tough spot. Nifty should be able to find one at least. Down to 2 HP though, so hanging on by the tiniest of threads. Solid setup at least going towards B. It's a passive play from Identity. This will at least guarantee a plant, but 4 on 3 retake with Nifty being 2 HP will definitely be on. The onus is on Identity to see what they can do here now. Arguably want to see them smoke off short. Use the flashes to your advantage as well. He will group up with them on the site. They've got to be careful. That bomb's ticking pretty quickly at this point. It's kind of in the scenario, you've got to go now or never. Oh, finding Fugly through the smoke is a disaster. Jonji's just doing all the work right now. Finally. Gonna get caught, but his teammate will trade anyhow. And that'll be the round. That's what I say, Twitch chat. I'm thoroughly impressed. It's not every day you get to see a real sensible discussion happen in Twitch chat. Usually it's just straight memes, but I'm actually seeing some interesting points raised about North American Counter-Strike right now on Twitch chat, so fair play. Fleshlies as well, I definitely agree. You know, because we really need to see sort of the next era, I think, of CS. A team that really roll up and prove that they are truly dominant. Astralis have got an interesting approach to it. We're not playing every tournament, but I think it's starting to fall off a little. We'll have to see sort of how the next big event unfolds. We'll see just pistols here, folks. Not really a huge amount happening, even though it is a half buy even. They're just getting crushed. It's an eco. Money not quite well spent. One thing I definitely would say is not quite accurate is, you know, there's by no means a lack of competitive teams in CSGO right now. CSGO is incredibly competitive. I mean, look at some of the results we've seen recently. Look at, like, EG Cloud9, or there's a variety of teams that have really surprised. Furia as well, like, you know, it's not like it's the same team winning every tournament, hands down. That said, a repeat of round 22 and round 21, Identity bagging 2 early kills with no response from EnVy. Situation getting really rough right now. I mean, you've got Relic just waltzing around the map as if he owns the place. Picking up one, finding a second, maybe even a third on the table for him, as Fugly just can't tap him as he crosses over. Knife out, jumping away. Now he's going to get shot in the back. Accurately sums up the game, to be honest. That's rough for Fugly. 14 dive. Game looking like it's ready to end, to be honest. Identity really stepping up on their CT side now. They took a while to get going, to be honest. I really was worried. And I was given the edge to EnVy, but last few have been quite decisive. You see, it's been a 5-round stint now from Identity, and pretty flawless after a small blip they had in round 3. Good opener from Nifty, though. Finds himself an opportunity in the inner side of toilets. See what they're going to be able to do with it, though. Finding Dazzle as well only makes things even better for them. Yes, damage was done, but ultimately the kill advantage sways in favour of EnVy. That leaves us here, a standoff towards the A site. Full rotation coming in for Identity. The confidence on them that it's going to be an A play. This is where you can add a bit of depth for EnVy, though, into their play route. If they were able to throw a bit of presence towards B, anything at all, just, you know, even 1 or 2 nades, try and bait a bit of attention back, it would make their lives a little easier, as they do try and collapse on towards A now, instead of having to fight the full force of 3. So making their push work. Android not spotting for Wrath. That's a complete disaster. Fugly will be there to trade, but is it going to work out for them? And they just suicided the bomb on the site with 20 seconds remaining. Boys, not like this. It's a solid high flash, but so much to do, and they still got to clear off Wraths, who's just there wreaking havoc close range with the Orb. It's on 17 HP. It's not going to work out. The bomb thrown away with 20 seconds remaining in such a compromising position. EnVy, it's the little things that you're making mistakes right now, all the little things, but they add up and they become such a big issue. These rounds crumbling to pieces. There's no clear direction. And that 3-on-4, and it really shows. 15-9. Identity, a practically flawless CT side now after they got going. It looked like map 1 is going to be theirs to lose at this point. Looks like the A play once again going to be the main target here. All of EnVy's forces located in toilet, already seeing a bit of long presence built up as well. Some spotted, but Relics will miss the opportunity to find him, but information is still gathered. See what EnVy can make of this now. Obviously so many SMGs in play, they've really got to get up close and personal. See if they can make it happen. So far, so good. They've been able to really nullify Relix's AWP, which is pretty good. Great flash as well. 3 quick frags. Where was this a round ago? Wrath and Seb all that remain, an easy bomb plant, and I imagine an instant save from the CT side now. think Stronger Legs pretty accurately sums it up, right? Like, it's not like it's a regional skill issue. It's just that a talent is a little bit more spread out. Makes it a lot tougher to build those real super teams. Maybe super teams is the wrong word for it, but you get the gist. Nonetheless, 15-10 here. Identity looking like they're going to take another map and another surprising victory here, to be honest. A whole best of 3 to go, but the CT half has been dominant so far. EnVy are only getting 1 round to hang on. A lot more needs to be done, and they are dropping like flies, Wraths, Relics, you name them, they're all getting kills. Sonic last man standing. 16-10, looking like it will be the scoreline is there. You have it. New identity. What a performance in that second half. I mean, it really was a little worrying as we sort of got around round 2, round 3. Some real sketchy CS, but once we really broke past, I'd say, round 20, banging performance. You really couldn't have put a foot wrong for them. And for EnVy, I mean, the direction really was what missing. Felt like they just didn't really know what to do in a lot of those late rounds.